What is a mini driver in golf? A mini driver in golf is a driver with a smaller head, shorter shaft, and more loft. We could call it a 2-wood, but for marketing purposes, mini driver is sexier. The head is much smaller than the 460 cc's that you find in a normal driver, and the loft will change from, in a driver, you're looking at about 8 to 10, 10.5 degrees. These start at about 11 degrees and go up to 14 degrees. The shaft is shorter, about maybe a 3-wood, maybe slightly longer than a 3-wood, but shorter than your driver. In my opinion, it feels much more forgiving than a driver, because a driver is so flat-faced. If it's open a degree or two, that ball's going way right, way left, because of the low loft. Another thing that I find is that people will always, me included, see that driver as such a flat-faced club that you have to hit up on it, because we're told to hit up on it, that we try and manufacture hitting up on it. That way we just hit it higher with more shape left and right. So with a mini driver, I found that you can tee the ball a lot lower. You can use it like a 3-wood, but the big difference with a mini driver is that the face is much bigger than the 3-wood. The 3-wood you're going to find is often going to be maybe 3/4 of this height. The one thing you'll notice with a mini driver is that the face is much shorter lengthways than a driver. A driver might come out about here. Now, I am single-handedly responsible for the increase in popularity of the mini driver since I feature on the channel, because I am such an influencer. Now, you may be saying, what's the difference between this and a 3-wood? Well, a mini driver is a 2-wood. That's the difference, really. It's not that complicated. The one thing you'll find is that at 15 degrees of loft with a modern 3-wood, it can be difficult to get the ball airborne if you don't have the swing speed. This one I find is so easy. Everyone I give the mini driver to finds it much easier to hit. And it's a tee club primarily. People who use the mini driver will tell you that they can shape the ball a bit better, hit slinging draws, hit some faders, much more so than a driver. A driver, we're going to try to take one shot shape, and we're going to just try keep getting it in play, because once it goes off the boil, it goes far off the boil, way right, way left. The mini driver is a nice backup club I like to use. I've replaced my 3-wood with the 2-wood or the mini driver, just because I can hit it off the fairway. One of the things I like about the mini driver is I can tee it quite low, just because the face is a bit shallower than a normal driver, so it's not as high. And when I tee it low like this, it reminds me of when I started playing golf. I used to play with a wooden persimmon 2-wood, so this really reminds me of that. Of course, it's a little bigger, but the face, the look of the tiny face, it's not like looking at a 3-wood that feels tiny and you have to hit it properly, or a driver that feels so big you can hit it anywhere on the face. Kind of like focuses me, and I actually get very nice strikes out of this thing. The other thing I like to do is, in the slightly shorter shaft that comes with the mini driver, which means you're going to lose distance, right? So if you have a shorter shaft, you should lose some distance. If you have more loft, you should lose some distance over your driver. But with your swing speed, what you might notice is that if you're not fast enough and you're trying to hit up on it too much, you might be losing distance with your driver. You might find you pick up a mini driver, slightly softer shaft, a little bit more loft. Wow, you actually maybe pick up some distance. But in general, let's say everything remains equal. Your driver goes 250, your 2-wood's going to go, or your mini driver is going to go 230 to 235. But it depends on you, your swing, and the dynamics of your swing. You may find the mini driver can replace a driver going the same distance, but more under control. Now, sometimes I like to play it off the fairway. It comes out with a nice little fader, because I can hit down on this. Not so easy with a 8.5 degree driver. With a 14 degree 2-wood mini driver, I still find I can hit it nicely off the fairway with a little fader that normally comes out. And that's what I like to use now from the fairway instead of a 3-wood. Mini driver, thanks to Matty Boom Boom for increasing the popularity, making more manufacturers produce them. You're welcome. That's a mini driver.